looking forward to an absolutely marvelous concert. Wonderful music, musicians that you may know and love dearly, pieces that you will just fall in love with, even if they're ones that were very, very familiar to you. You're not going to want to miss a note. A couple of things to let you know about. We do have indoor plumbing, so if you go all the way down the hall here, you'll see pastor's area on the left. There is a restroom in there. If you go down the hall this way, there are more restrooms down that hallway. And at the very least, you can grab somebody and ask if they know where they are. One other thing, and this is very important because it's the purpose of the concert in the first place, and that is raising money for Clarity's Care. And I wanted you to know that whatever you do place in the baskets is going to be met by the Permanent Funds Ministry. They will match your gift up to $2,000. So what I would say to you is don't skimp. Let's take them up on their offer all the way. So because it's for a wonderful cause. So I'm so glad that you're here. You're doing such good things. You're doing such good work. You're being such good helpers simply by being here and enjoying this lovingly prepared music. Thank you.
everybody. Thanks for coming out today. I really, really appreciate having you here. It's some really great music. It's been fun to pull some of these songs back out and relearn them and get them back under my fingers and find out how much is still under my fingers, because some of the music is that way. It's a lot of muscle memory. So the next piece that I have for you is a Beethoven piece, and he took a vocal song, and which you'll see the title listed in your program, and then he created 6 variations on that song. So the first thing you hear is the song itself, and then there are 6 different variations, and they vary in tempo, so speed. They vary in which hand gets the melody, the right hand, the left hand. They vary in key. Some of them are in major, one is in minor, and they also vary in speed. So there are 6 different variations for you, so I hope you enjoy this next Beethoven piece. the next piece I have for you is by probably one of my favorite composers. I do have a lot, but WC is one of my favorite. I have a lot. Primarily of the Romantic period are my favorite to play. And so WC was an impressionistic composer. So impressionistic art, gave you the impression of something. And so a lot of his music reflects that as well. It's very flowing. Most of his music is very flowing. And this is one of my absolute favorites. I did play it in college, and it was fun. This one really came back under my fingers pretty quickly. So this is one of my favorites to play, so I hope you enjoy it. piece on the first half of the program is a very popular one. So I'm not sure if I made the smartest choice in choosing it because they're probably melodies that you are very familiar with. So no pressure to play all the right notes. So there's 4 different pieces. Morning Mood and is the first one. And I kind of imagine, if you wake up early and you're watching the sunrise and you hear the birds are coming out and the birds are talking to each other. I think there's some parts that kind of imitate the birds. Then you have the Death of Ace, which is very slow, very solemn, has some very cool harmonies, kind of like a funeral march in a way. Then you have Anitra's Dance, which is very dance-like. It's in 3/4, very much like a waltz feel. And then you have probably the most famous, most popular of the Peer Gynt Suite, In the Hall of the Mountain King. It's a favorite of my students when we get to listen to it in class. It was even used in the movie Trolls that came out within the last couple of years. And so it is the most popular one. After this set of pieces, there will be a brief intermission, about 10 minutes, so time for you to go to the restroom if you wish, and then I will have some friends joining me for the second half. So here is Peer Gynt Suite by Edvard Grieg. All right, so we'll have a brief 10-minute intermission. We have to rearrange a few things up here. If you need to go to the restrooms, now is a good time to do it. You don't want to miss the second half.
I don't know, Andrew. You just go sit down. Yep. Do you like how I just pulled it back?
All right, we're going to start the second half. For the second half of our concert today, I have some friends joining me, Krista and Carla, and you'll hear a little bit later how I know these two lovely ladies. But we're going to go ahead and start and play our first piece. It's Mozart, right?
Yep.
Yep, the Mozart piece for flute and piano. So enjoy.
Thank
I'm very thankful to Krista. I had this idea to do this concert maybe about 2 months ago. And so I immediately texted Krista and Carla and said, hey, would you be willing to do this with me? And both were absolutely yes. So how I know Krista, we've known each other, how many years? 9 years. Yes, we've been out of college for 5. So we've known each other for 9 years. We actually were randomly paired up as roommates our freshman year of college. We still kind of joke the first couple weeks, we didn't talk to each other at all. And we just kind of coexisted in the same room. And then there was just one day, and we don't even really remember when, we just kind of talked with each other and kind of got to know each other, and we've been best friends ever since. And we had both the pleasure, and we're very fortunate that we got to also grow musically together through college. I accompanied her all through college. She had sort of blind faith in my ability and said, hey, I want you to play for me. And then I played for a lot of flute students after that. So it's a real joy of mine to get to collaborate with other artists, whether it be flute, whether it be piano duets, whether it be vocalists. I think that it's my favorite thing to do, aside, even before solo piano stuff. It's just always been something that I've loved doing. So it's been really fun to put these things together with Krista and Carla. So our last flute piece is I don't remember the name, Allegretto, and it's a cute little flute piece. And what's interesting is I kind of get what's called, what we term, boom chuck. So I'm boom chuck, in the accompaniment, which doesn't happen actually very often with flute parts. A lot of the flute music, it's true, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not lying. Most of the flute music is kind of orchestral underneath, because apparently composers think that because we can play notes on both treble and bass clef, we should be able to play orchestral music, so which is usually very hard because it's normally for an orchestra. So this one is a fun little piece, so we hope you enjoy this one. All right, so as you'll see in your program, now is the time when a free will offering is going to be collected. So let me tell you a little bit about where your money is going to be going. So there are things that when you aspire to be a teacher, when you become a teacher, that you hope you never have to deal with. It's things that you're not taught a class about. And unfortunately, one of those is your student having cancer. So in November, you can go ahead. In November of this school year, we found out that Clarity Banks, one of our second grade students, was diagnosed with T-cell lymphoma, which unfortunately is not the easy kind of lymphoma to cure, if there is an easy kind to cure. It is very hard to cure. And so since November, she's been in and out of the hospital, getting her chemo treatments. Then at one time she had a blood infection, so her chemo treatments actually had to stop. And unfortunately, then her cancer was spreading even more rapidly because they had to stop the treatments. She's had issues with her port. She's had different infections. And so she's been in and out of the hospital. She's one of 4 children. I've had her older sister, Destiny, and who's now in 6th grade, I think, or 7th grade. And then I have her other older sister, Rihanna, right now, who's in 4th grade. And then I had Clarity in 2nd grade. She has a younger brother as well. And so her mom has quit her job to be able to stay home with her or to transport her back and forth to the hospital. And so it's been a lot. They're still trying to keep the other kids in school activities and getting them to different things. Rihanna has actually been in my choir that happens before school this year, and I don't think she missed a single rehearsal. So her grandparents have really been helping out with that. So also in February, our school has really rallied around this family. I've been very proud of our school district. And in February, we decided that for our school, we wanted to have a month of kindness, just to emphasize to the kids, being kind to each other, being kind to adults, being kind to people in the community, being kind to people you don't know. And one of those things we did was we had T-shirts made that I say kindness for clarity, that hence the name of your program of the concert today. And so the proceeds from those shirts went to the family. Zoe, I'm putting her on the spot, she's not gonna like me. Zoe's one of my 2nd grade students, who's also Clarity's best friend. She's here today, over there. She has her Clarity shirt on. She's right there, yes. So you can, oh yeah. So you can check out those shirts later. She has hers on today, which is awesome. So it's been great. The community has rallied around, and we've been able to help out the family greatly. But I just felt there was something more that I could do, and I wanted to use the gifts that I've been given, and this church has been so supportive in that too. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your donations. Again, as Tracy said earlier, everything that is raised today is being matched. So if you just donated $10, you really donated $20. And every little bit helps because I'm sure many of us know somebody who's been affected by cancer, but it's even worse when it's an 8-year-old. So thank you again for being here, and thank you again for your donations. So the next 4 pieces on our program are piano duets, which is a real joy of mine. And so it's been these are some of our favorites that we pulled out for you. So it's been very fun to learn these. So the first is a very regal march-like piece called Arrival of the Queen of Sheba. right, so now I'm joined by Carla, and Carla and I have known each other my entire life. And I started knowing her family because her mom, Pat, babysat me from when I was about 6 weeks old. And so then Carla started teaching me piano at the age of 5 until I went to college. And she's a big part of why I'm doing what I'm doing. I would not, I think, be as good of a teacher or a musician if it were not for her. I got to spend some time. She's also a music teacher, and she's been a big influence. I spent some time in her classroom and found out that that's really what I wanted to do. So I'm super grateful to her, and I'm sure many of you probably have people that you know like this. She's not blood, but she's family. So she and her family are at all of my my concerts and my events. So I'm so thankful she agreed to do this. And we had a lot of fun. These are duets that we haven't played together in a long time, so it was very fun for us to pull these back out. The next two duets that we have for you are some of our favorites, and they have similar characteristics. They both go back and forth between major and minor, so they have those contrasts there. So we hope you enjoy the next two pieces. right, we have one final duet piece for you, which I don't know if it's our favorite because I don't think we have a favorite because we have so many that we like, but it's a really fun way to end this concert. Again, thank you so much. I did forget to mention on the back of your program is Clarity. That is Clarity. That was a couple of months ago. She has a hat on because she had lost her hair from chemo, but around her shoulders is a prayer shawl that was knitted by the women of this church. So I wanted to include that picture on there. So again, thank you so, so much. Huh? Yes, thank you. I knew there was something I was forgetting. There is a reception afterwards across in the fellowship hall, which is the room just right across here. I would love to know. We have, I think, a total amount. Is this just from today? So we can add $130 to that because that was prior to this. So, wow. So today we have raised, this is before matching, yes? $1,272. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. So thank you so, so much. I really appreciate it. It's way surpassed my expectations. So thank you so much for your generosity. It's going to a great cause and to a great family. So thank you, thank you, thank you. reception.